Hey, hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Jimmy Fung, and in today's video, what we'll be talking about is exactly how to put together a cold email campaign. So this video is going to be relevant for you if you're trying to use cold emails to either sign clients for yourself, or if you run a lead generation agency, you signed a client, and now you are helping your client get results and generate leads, generate sales calls by using cold emails. I'm going to be walking you through that entire process. Now, what I do want to say is in this video, it's not going to be a step-by-step, watch me click this button, you could click that button and follow exactly what I do type of video. That's not what this video is going to be about. What this video will be talking about will be the high level strategy of how you want to, number one, scrape leads, number two, how you want to build out your cold email campaign, how you want to decide which sales assets to use, and basically the overall strategy of what you want to do in order to get results for your clients. So what I'm going to do is I actually selected this company over here. It's called Thrive Digital. This is a full stack marketing agency. They work with different software companies, and I'm going to pretend that Thrive Digital is actually one of my clients. I took a sales call with them. They came on board to work with my own lead gen agency, and now it is my job to work with them and send cold emails on their behalf, put together the cold email campaign, and help them generate sales calls for their own business, right? So I'm gonna walk you through the overlying strategy, and hopefully by the end of this video, the goal is by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly what you need to do in terms of scope of work and give you a better idea for how you want to actually get them that result. So again, we're going to start with Thrive Digital. Again, this is going to be the company that we're using. This is kind of what the website looks like. We can see that they say that they're a full funnel growth marketing agency. We power growth marketing campaigns that reach millions. They've worked with quite a few companies, and in fact, pretty large companies like Uber, Asana, Masterclass, Coinbase, amongst a couple others. They have case studies, which is a really important thing. Depending on your client, if you look at the website and you don't know what case studies they have, make sure you ask them what cases they have and get the information in detail. Or for your own business, right? Leverage case studies if you have. If you don't have case studies, it'll be a slightly different process. But for the purposes of this video, Thrive Digital does have case studies. We plan, build, and manage all aspects of clients and growth marketing campaigns. So we understand that our marketing agency, we want to learn a little bit more about the process and kind of what they do. So we're gonna take a look. They specialize working with e-commerce, user acquisition, lead generation, and demand generation in terms of their capabilities. So these are the specific things, specific services that they're offering. So performance marketing, so a lot of that stuff related to ads, data and measurement, so analytics, stuff like that, and creative services, so creating the ads, video editing, building landing pages, that type of thing, right? So it really is the end-to-end marketing stuff. So that's awesome to know. The next thing what we want to do is, now that we understand kind of what they do, which is just marketing services, we want to understand a case study, because what we'll be doing for our cold email campaign is we'll be leveraging a case study to tell Thrive Digital's story and to bait people and kind of generate interest for what they do. So I actually looked at the website, and this is an example of a case study that they have, right? And they work with Notion, which is a really, really large and really popular software company, software platform. So they worked with Notion, where they sounds like they ran ads because it's a scaled spend. They increased their CTR, so their click-through rate, and drove more engagement. So what they did was all the creative stuff, so creative strategy, creative design, and creative testing. They leveraged Facebook and Instagram to do that, so they did ads, right? So that's basically what they did. Their goals was to scale, click performance, value proposition, and these are the solutions. So they did a lot of A/B testing, power calculations, opting into same places. So all of this stuff is about ads. These are some of the examples of the ads that they were doing with these are the ad creatives that you can see. So for example, this is an ad creative, this is another ad creative, and this is the result where by the end, Thrive Digital was able to work with Notion to increase their click-through rate by 71% versus Notion's, I'm not sure what this sounds like, but it sounds like the ads that they did with in-house, while increasing their engagement rate by over 66%. Got a little bit of a testimonial. Okay, awesome. So we understand that. So I just put that down over here, right? So again, case study, Thrive Digital, Facebook IG ads. They helped Notion produce new creative assets to improve engagement and click-through rates, which helped to ramp up their spend on Facebook to mirror their aggressive growth goals. Again, right, 71% click-through rate, 66% engagement engagement rate. That was the case study, and that's the result. So what we want to do is, now that we understand that they have a very successful case study, Notion is obviously a software, a SaaS. What we want to do, the very first thing, the low-hanging fruit, is to target other software companies, because now that we have an awesome case study inside the SaaS industry, we want to leverage that, and essentially we'll reach out to other software companies and say, hey, we recently worked with another software company called Notion where we were able to do X, Y, Z. So that's what we want to do. So our next target is going to be software companies, right? And the way we want to go and build that leads list is, there's a website called GetLaka. This is what this looks like. It's a SaaS database, right? So if you're trying to target software companies, use GetLaka or use Crunchbase. It doesn't really matter. Either or works. So this is a software database. We're going to go over here, SaaS database, and we see that there are 39,000 software companies. And these are the software companies that we want to target. Now, for the purposes of this example, there's a bunch of different ways you can go about doing this. You can segment your list. You could go by sub niches. But what we're going to do for Thrive Digital is we're going to start with a more of a broad campaign, target all the SaaS companies. And then once that list is exhausted, what we're going to do is we're going to use something what I call a waterfall method, where we're going to go more segmented in terms of job titles, in terms of the specific industries that these SaaSes are, B2B SaaS, that type of thing, right? But we're going to start the very first campaign is we're going to go broad and use our cold email messaging and our cold email sales asset to qualify people. So this is the database that we're going to pull all the leads from. So we have 39,000. What you want to do is, if you look over here, this is Pokeball emoji. This is actually a Google Chrome extension called Instant Data Scraper. You just want to install that, and essentially you're going to press that because it's going to scrape this leads list. So we're going to set this up. We're going to press locate next button, which is obviously this button. And then we're going to, it's just going to start scraping. So once that's done, obviously for the purpose of the example, I'm only going to scrape 80 pages or 80 rows. You want to go as much as you can. I'm just going to press copy all just to copy that to my clipboard. I'm going to open up a Google Sheets, and I'm actually just going to paste it out over here. And this is kind of what this looks like. So based on what I just showed you, now we have a leads list of roughly 20 or so companies. Now there's a lot of different data rows over here, and not all of them are that important. Though really the only rows that we need is the company names, which is row B. So I'm gonna remove row A. We're gonna remove all of these rows, delete. So this is the name of the founder, not super relevant. What we need next after this is the website. So looks like on row J is going to be the website over here. So we're just going to sort this out over here. So this is what that's going to look like. We're going to rename this to company name. And we're going to rename this to company website. Okay, awesome. So what we have now is two rows. We have the company names. These are all software companies. And we have the company websites. But what we need to do next is enrich this list with specific people who work at the company. So for example, let's use Loom, row number 9 as an example, Loom. What we have right now is obviously just the company name, and we have their website. Actually, we don't have their website, but we know that it's gonna be loom.com. So we have the website. What we want to do next is we want to reach out to specific people who work at Loom to obviously pitch our services. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna download this as a CSV file. So we're gonna download this. And then after that, we want to go under apollo.io, set up a free account. And what you're going to do is go on the left side to search. We're going to press import as a CSV, select CSV file. And then this is the CSV file that we just downloaded off of Google Sheets. We're going to upload that. And what we want to do is we want to match the company name to account name and the company website to account website, which is linked. And then what we're going to do is we're going to press import. This might take a while because obviously if you're uploading more than 20, it might take you a little bit longer, but we're only gonna do 20. I'm just gonna refresh this. And what we see is we have 20 of these companies just uploaded onto Apollo. What we want to do is select all of them, select all companies, which is 20, and press this button, find people. And now what we have are specific people who work at these companies. So for example, we have Suzanne, who is the head of growth at Binder, which is one of the software companies that we scraped. What you want to do after that is use the filters on the left side to be way more specific in terms of who you want to reach out to. So for example, let's say we want to reach out to founders. We're going to put in founders, and now we see we have 17 founders. If you want to add in CEO, you can do that. Just be strategic and think about who you want to reach out to. Now, for this first campaign that we're going to set up together, it's again going to be a more broad campaign. So we're going to have a couple of different job titles. We might have head of growth or head of business development. We might put in VP sales. There's a couple different roles we want to put, but obviously these might be the main ones. Down the line, when you build a campaign that's way more segmented and way more personalized, you want to only scrape leads that are, let's say, only founders, only CEOs, only VP sales, and write specific messages based on the person or the title that you're reaching out to. Because obviously the VP sales of a software company might have slightly different goals and things that are relevant to them versus the founder or the CEO. But for the purposes of this example, we're gonna roll with these job titles. What you wanna do after this is you're just gonna scrape all 27 off of this. You're gonna verify the leads list to make sure that the leads that you do have, they're completely verified. I'm not gonna walk you through how to do that in today's video, but that's the overall idea of how you want to go about doing that. So once you scrape your leads list, your next step is to build the actual cold email campaign and build the cold email copy. So what I did is I was putting this video together. I actually already put together the cold email copy. I'm just gonna walk you through kind of what that looks like. I'm gonna read it to you and kind of explain to you why I wrote what I wrote. So what I did was I actually set up 4 variations for email 1, which is the very first email in the sequence that you're gonna use to reach out to the people at Thrive Digital. We're actually gonna put a subject line. Personally, I would use quick question John or quick question and then the first name variable. But in terms of the email copy, this is what that's gonna look like. So email 1A, the first variation in email 1, I say, hi first name or hi John, is company name currently running ads on Facebook to acquire new users, question mark, reaching out because we recently worked with Notion where we ran their Facebook ads leading to a 71 increase in click-through rate and a 66% increase to engagement rate over the course over 6 months. I put together a portfolio of specific ad creatives which led to this growth. Mind if I share them with you? So if we dissect this email, we first use an icebreaker question, a thought-provoking question, because someone who is running a SaaS company, let's say the founders or the head of growth or the head of sales, whatever the case is, if this is relevant for the company and they are running ads, they're going to, in their mind, respond, well, yeah, we are running ads to acquire new users. And then I straight up use a case study, right, to explain what it is that we do. So the offer is in a way built into this case study because we're using the case study, which is Notion, to explain that we work with software companies running their ads, and this is the expected result you can get, which is an increase in click-through rate and increased engagement rate. I want you to notice how specific the numbers that I'm using, because one of the largest mistakes that I see people make when they craft their cold email campaigns is they just say, hey, we use ads and we increase the click-through rate. But that's not that specific. That doesn't sound as good as saying, hey, we leverage Facebook ads to increase click-through rate by 71% while increasing engagement rate by 66%. So you see, by being way more specific, our messaging is just way stronger. And obviously this is the call to action where I'm just basically saying, hey, we put together this resource that shows you exactly how we were able to achieve this result. Can I share this with you? So that's email 1A. Email 1B, very similar again. Hey John, has company name seen a drop off in Meta ads ROAS over the past few months? So this is a pain point. You want to do your research. Whenever you're working with a new client or for your own cold email campaigns, I cannot stress the importance of doing your research. The only reason why I was able to come up with this question is because I understand that any company that has been running Facebook ads or Meta ads over the last few months, their cost per acquisition has just increased significantly, as went through the roof. Every single metric of running ads has just gotten more expensive, which means the ROI, the return on ad spend, has decreased. So I understand that. I understand that's a pain point for companies, any company that is running ads, and I'm able to call that out. So if you don't know that, then you need to go and do your own research so that you understand the pain points that the people that you're reaching out to are actually facing, so that you can call that out. So I call that out, and this is gonna hit home really hard to all the people who are running ads. So basically any person who works at these software companies who is in charge of running ads, this is gonna resonate with them because this is true. My next thing I say is, if so, we recently worked with Notion where we were able to achieve a 3.6x ROAS over the course of 6 months by using meta ads, leading to a 174% increase in year-to-year revenue growth. So obviously I just made up this number because Thrive Digital is not one of my clients, but if they were my clients, I would ask them personally, I would send them a message or jump on a call with them and figure out what the ROAS was, because that's a pretty important measure or pretty important KPI when it comes to running ads. And then you notice how I was able to tie this specific metric into the overall outcome. So the overall outcome was we worked on Notion and they made more money. How much money? Well, we increased the revenue. We increased our sales by 174% year over year compared to the same point in last year. So I tie that together. Once again, this is a call to action where I say, I put together this resource showing you how we did this. Can I share this with you? So that's email 1B. Email 1C is, hey John, what is company name free trial conversion rate? So once again, this is a question that I came up with because I did my research, because I understand based on my research that one of the major problems that software companies face is even if they are getting a lot of users, oftentimes free users, a very small percentage of those people actually upgrade and ascend into the paid subscription model. So let's say Loom, once again, right? There's a free version of Loom. A lot of people, they just use the free version of Loom, and let's say 5% of people ascend into the paid version of Loom, and the industry benchmark is 15%. You could go and search this up, but the industry benchmark for what is considered average, average ascension rate is 15%. And basically any software company that is below 15%, it means they are just struggling to convert free trial conversions into a paid subscription. So I call that out because that is definitely a major problem that software companies have. And then I say, reason for asking is because we recently worked with Notion where we were able to increase the free trial conversion rate from 15%, so industry standard, to 27% over the course of 7 months by leveraging our meta targeting funnel structure. So I did a couple things here. Again, I called out a massive pain point. I talked about how we were able to work with another company to figure out the solution to this problem, and this is how we did it, by leveraging our unique mechanism. So I called it the meta retargeting funnel structure. You can really call it anything you want. This is just the name to your unique mechanism. This also led to year-over-year revenue growth of 174%. So again, I tie these things to the ultimate outcome because again, you have to understand that business owners are buying a specific service for an outcome. They're buying Facebook ads so that they can make more money. They're not buying Facebook ads because they care about very specific things. They don't love Facebook ads. What they're buying Facebook ads and paying someone $3,000 a month to run Facebook ads is so that they can make more money. So we tie that down. And our call to action is mind if I send more info, so more of a soft call to action. And finally, email 1D, the fourth variation is I say, hey John, a lot of SaaS companies struggle to acquire new users profitably with cold traffic ads. So again, this is a pain point that I understand from software companies. I understand that most software companies, they struggle to run ads and make money from that. So I call that out. The problem is this is the problem that they're relying on. So again, I did more research. They rely on top of funnel ads to drive free trial users to sign up, but that leads to a sub 15% free to paid conversion traffic rates. So again, I'm calling out a pain point. And then I say, as an offer, that's why we built the creative ads funnel, so the unique mechanism that consistently, so this is the outcome, that consistently drives cold traffic while consistently ascending 20+% of users to a paid subscription. That's exactly what we did for Notion, so case study, where by using this exact same system, they were able to do this, achieve a year-over-year revenue growth of 174%. Can I shoot you over a video with more information? So this is the call to action. So these are the 4 sequences that I put together, and you're gonna launch your campaign and split test all 4 of these variations and see which one works best. So that's basically the cold email campaign. So here are some things to keep in mind. So obviously for this video, I'm not gonna walk you through again, right? This is not a press this button, write this, write that, copy me type of video. I'm just giving you the overall direction and the overall strategy. So hopefully you understand how I was able to take a sample company, or if this is your client's company, write cold email angles that will convert and put that down on a Google Docs. Now, obviously you wanna move this into Instantly or Smartly, whatever cold email automation software you're using. You obviously need to scrape leads. What you wanna do is you wanna build out the sales asset. So if this is for your clients, one of the largest questions I get asked is, do you create this? Do you not create this? What does that look like? What you wanna do is what I do for my clients is I build out the sales asset, whether that's on a Google Docs or on a PowerPoint slide, and then I set up a call with my clients, run over the entire sales asset with my client, and ask my client to then film it. Because obviously it's their company, they're able to talk about these things in way better detail with way better conviction than if I were able to do it. So the sales asset, whether you want to be leveraging a case study VSL or a process selling VSL, it doesn't really matter. If you don't know what that is, check the first link in the description. I put together a video which talks about how to do these things in way more detail. I'm not going to be talking about that in today's video, but a lot of the call to actions in these sequences, I'm saying, hey, we recently worked with Notion where we got them this specific result. I put together a resource, I put together a video showing you exactly how we do this. Can I share this with you? So a lot of them are going to be case study VSLs where I use Notion as a case study and I explain the process of how we were able to get that specific result for a case study. So you're going to have to put that together. The next one is going to be email follow-up. So depending on the strategy you use, for the majority of my campaigns, they are between 3 and 5 emails long. So obviously we only put the first email here right now. You want to put down the follow-up for email 2, the follow-up for email 3, the follow-up for email 4, and probably the follow-up for email 5, which is what I call a breakup sequence email. Again, the first link in the description is going to walk you through exactly how to do that. What I will say about email follow-ups is try to come from the angle of adding value for your clients, because I get a lot of cold emails myself, and almost always the follow-ups are just very low effort follow-ups. Hey Jimmy, just bumping this up. Hey Jimmy, just seeing if you've seen this email. Yeah, I've seen the email. I just never replied because it wasn't relevant towards me, or the email was just, unfortunately, it was just garbage, right? So try to add value into your email follow-ups, leverage more assets, leverage more sales assets, leverage another case study if you have to, and build out your email follow-ups. The next one is inbox management. So a large component of cold email success is actually how quick does it take you to reply back to people. So for example, let's say I'm sending out this email, I'm asking a question as my call to action. Let's say John, he replies back and says, sure, I'd love to see that video. Obviously, you're going to get way better results if you reply back to John within 5 minutes than if you took 3 days to send the video back to John. So inbox management is a huge thing. And then finally, split testing, right? So the reason I put together these 4 variations is because one of the largest mistakes that people can make is they just write one cold email copy, they send it out, they blast it to a list of 1,000 people, and they don't see any results and say it doesn't work. Well, it's not that the process doesn't work, is that they only use one email copy. There's a very specific reason why I created 4 variations of email 1, why I created different angles, and you need to be split testing at all times, because similar to anything else in marketing, you never really know what's going to work, and it's very unlikely that the first angle that you put together is going to be your winning angle. So you want to always be split testing and coming up with 3 to 5 variations of any angles or offers that you are using, and that's exactly what I did. So hopefully you're able to see how I was able to do that in today's video. Now, obviously, for the purposes of this video, I only wrote 4 variations to email 1 of the sequence. We always want to create follow-up emails because, as the saying goes, the money is in the follow-ups. Now, because I don't want to make this video literally an hour long, the first link in the description is a link to a full cold email masterclass where I go into way more detail step by step on how you want to set up the structure of your cold email campaigns, alongside a step-by-step of how to write your follow-ups, how to spam check, how to spin tax all of your email copy, how to put together the inbox management, all of those things. But that's pretty basically today's video. Hopefully you got the basic idea of how you want to use cold emails, build a cold email campaign for yourself, for your clients, for different people, different companies, and hopefully you're able to understand how to reach out to specific decision makers to generate leads in 2024. So if you made it to the end of today's video, what I want you to do is drop me an Apple emoji in the comments just so that I can see who actually makes it to the end of these videos. Statistically, 99% of people don't actually make it to the end. So if that's you and you made it to the end, drop me an Apple emoji in the comments just so I can see that you made it to the end, and I will respond back to you. But hopefully you found this video valuable, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.